Hello everybody. It is Monday, the 30th of September. And I want again to talk about the power of prayer. Because I absolutely truly believe in it. I believe in the spiritual. I believe in receiving of the Creator. And that it can manifest in this world. And that it can create realities. And that we are, through that connection, through asking and receiving, we are the creators of realities. All of us. Yeah? But, and here comes, what has created this world. You really must see what is being done, what we are doing as spiritual beings in prayer to create this world. To see the origins of this. How did we even get into this place where we're doing what we're doing? And I'll show you what we're doing. And Christians, I don't know why you're howling. The kingdom of God is here. It is manifesting. You're getting all that you have been asking for. Yeah? So I don't know why you're howling. Your will has been done. Show you this. Now, you are going the way of Jesus. And the way of Jesus was clearly, for myself I ask nothing. Yeah? I deny my own nature. And that is what it actually says in the first page of the book, what God does. He subdues nature in order to rule over the world, to have dominion of the world. And that's exactly what Jesus did. Watch my last video, when Lazarus died. He suppressed his own nature, which should have been compassion, love for Lazarus the moment he heard that he was sick. But he suppressed that in some game. Let him die and then show the power by resurrecting him. That was a calculation of, how to get the best effect out of this. He was not moved, he was not driven by his compassion. He did not follow his compassion. He used it. He suppressed it and then he used it when it was opportune to do so. In service of a mighty one, of a powerful one, of his Father that is in heaven, that is in the sky, that is somewhere in a different world, dimension, I don't know where. But it is another being. And here is where Christians, that is the image of God that Christians have. That is the image, that is religion. You're praying to another being. I mean, you're actually doing that. The image of God for the Christians is that of a man, of a powerful being, surrounded by other powerful beings, angels and whatever, in the hierarchy of the kingdom. I don't know, I had this song, or part of a song in my head yesterday. I think it was David Bowie, praying to the aliens. That is what you're doing. And here comes where this actually came from. And if we see our history correctly, and what is actually being taught in that book correctly, that at the time of Abraham and before that, the powerful ones were walking amongst the people of this earth. I mean, long before that were the powerful ones actually created a modern human, not from nothing, not from scratch, but out of something that was already here. Yeah? The powerful ones were walking amongst us. That was an experienced reality. And they were powerful. Yeah? They had, if you read this book correctly, they had flying machines. And they came with the clouds with great power and glory. and lights and flashing lights and what not. That's what it says. And even before that, in the Garden of Eden, they were the ones with the superior knowledge. Yeah? Well, we were still hunter-gatherers, or whatever we were at that time. They brought the knowledge of agriculture. They brought the knowledge of agricultural tools that was given to man by the gods, by the powerful ones. Yeah? And we did till the earth and stuff like that. And we grew the food. And then we gave the offerings to the gods, you know, when the harvest came, and they took their cut. Yeah, and I don't know how much free will was involved in that. You know, what would have happened if you hadn't given your offering? I mean, look at the whole system went on and on and on throughout our history, in feudal times. Yeah, if you did not give your offerings to the feudal lord, you were thrown off the land. Yeah, and I would say way back when it was no different. You were no longer part of the garden, of the glorious garden of God. You got thrown out. If you had any ideas about yourself, or not giving to the gods. So that's where it comes from. That was actually our history, and it keeps repeating itself. Absolutely it does. But there is the spiritual aspect which I do believe in. And I do believe in the power of prayer, and then really look what it is you're praying for. Look at what it was that Jesus was praying for. Yeah? For myself I ask nothing. All the power and all the glory shall go to my Father in heaven. That is a being. To that mighty one, that powerful one, that what we now call, what Christians now call God. All the power and glory shall go to him, and then he shall rule over us. I mean, the best example I could find, it just came to me this morning, is actually the British national anthem. I mean, you're standing there proud, filled with pride, singing it. Have you actually thought about what it is you're singing? Yeah? And Jesus said, it is the will of the Father, and let's say that all shall be saved. What are you asking for? God, the Father, save the King. Save the King. Save him. Send him victorious, happy and glorious. For why? So long to rule over us. Have you actually ever thought about what it is you're singing? There is again the way of Jesus. Ask in prayer for something that will serve the powerful ones, not for yourself. So in the New Testament there were two ways. Now just let me say before that, the powerful ones, yeah? Even in the old stories, the old Greek stories, yeah, the old Abrahamic stories, and know them by their fruit, by what they were doing. They had superior knowledge, yes, they did, to what humanity had at that time, absolutely. But if you see what they were doing, they were not moral beings. Yeah? And no, they were not on a terribly high level of consciousness. You know, as in their moral knowing, in their compassion, in their caring for others. If you say that is a highly developed being, something that has empathy, they didn't have that. Not in a big way. They still don't. Those that are now the powerful ones in this world, they still don't have that, and they're not moral in any way, shape, or form. So again, nothing has changed. They have modeled themselves on the powerful ones that came before, and we are still the plebs. Yeah? And again, that is what Jesus prayed for. Christians, that is what you are praying for, that all the power and the glory shall go to a powerful one, and it's manifesting all around you. The kingdom is here. The powerful ones are becoming more powerful by the moment. And they're as immoral and irresponsible and insane as they've always been. But you're still giving the power to them. Asking for it in prayer. Now here's the thing that I was thinking about, and that is what Jesus said. It is in giving that we receive. Yeah? 2 or more in my name. 1 to ask, 1 to receive. At least 2. For this thing to take place. The receiving and the giving. So you need at least 2. So is it actually a case that you cannot ask for yourself? I think that is possible. Because if you cannot know the all in its entirety, you can't. That's, again, every ancient teaching will tell you that. It cannot be known. But you can know it in aspects, in parts, create a bite size. So if you want to know the all in its aspect of the giver, you want to know the all as the giver, yeah? Then in order to know, you need to be that. Yeah? So in order to receive of the giver, you have to be the giver. So then we will come to this point where it's in asking that we, it is in giving that we receive. So yes, we probably have to give, ask for somebody else, for something else. I think that is part of how this works. Right. But for starters, as I said, there were 2 ways in the New Testament. One was the way of Jesus, and that is absolutely the way of for myself I do nothing, I give to a powerful one. And that is what Christianity is now, and they're actually praying to that powerful one, which is idiotic. But the other way was love your neighbor as yourself. Continuously ask for one another. Now, the disciples of Jesus were not people of great knowledge. Yeah? They were not scientists. They were not, they did not have superior technology. They had none of that. They were ordinary people with ordinary lives. What they had was empathy. What they had was compassion. What they had was the connection of a human being to the life around them, to their brothers, their sisters, their neighbors, their friends. And for many, we also have a connection to nature. And it is out of that connections that we gain the knowledge of what it is we should be asking for. Yeah, it is not born out of head knowledge, out of fanciful ideas, out of what is possible, but purely born out of the knowledge of the suffering of others, That gives us the knowledge of what it is we should be asking for. Again, with Jesus, in the case of Lazarus, that knowledge came to him. He must have done. But he suppressed that knowledge. He suppressed the knowledge of the suffering of Lazarus, and that should have clearly taught him what he should do next. He suppressed that knowledge, he suppressed that feeling for something greater. But if we don't do that, we say there is nothing greater. There is nothing greater. But our love for our families, for our friends, for nature, and to ask out of that truth. Love your neighbor as yourself. And believe on the power of prayer. Believe that they all will give. That they all will give. And that through you, your neighbor will receive. Your son will receive. Your daughter will receive. Your friend will receive. Nature can be given to through us. And we have the knowledge of the suffering of others through empathy, through compassion, that brings to us the knowledge. Truthfully, standing in that truth will not build spaceships, most likely not. It will probably not build great cities. Yeah? It will not create something technological outside of us, because our truth is biological. Yeah. And out of that truth we will not create something technological if we stand in that truth. So it will not do that. But it will be the way to life. That is the true way to life. That is it. Love your neighbor, ask for yourself, continuously ask for one another, believe that you have received it and it will be yours, theirs. They will receive. And in them receiving and their gladness and their happiness should be our bread. And it would be our bread. Again, Jesus said exactly that as well. It is my bread to serve him that sent me. Yeah, it was his bread to see the gladness of the powerful one. Yeah, fine. But see the kind of world that it creates when the powerful ones receive all. You're in it, you're in the kingdom. It's here. Your prayer has worked. The way of Jesus has worked. It has created this world. Let's try the other way. Continuously ask for one another. Love your neighbor as yourself. In the all there is no judgment, it will give one way or another. You are the creator. You are the point of judgment. And your judgment was wrong. If you're following the way of Jesus, your judgment was wrong, and you know it by the outcome. You know it by the fruit. That is not the way. It's not the way to life. But I think the other one would be. So why don't we forget about the powerful ones? And ask in the truth that is, in the knowledge that is brought to us through our connections to one another. It will tell us what we should ask for. Then go by those instructions and heal one another. Ask for healing for one another. Love your neighbor as yourself. Continuously ask for one another. That is the way to life. The other is not. It will lead into destruction. We can see it. It's happening all around us. Let's turn away from that way. Forget about the powerful ones. We may not build great spaceships or whatever, but we will live. And I think life would be an awful lot better if we were asking according to our human truth. Anyway, folks, I leave it at that for today, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.